Hey, what's up, y'all? So, welcome to the first video of the new year with Pillow Talk with D and Nee.
Hey.
And so, we've been out of the loop for a little bit. We've been doing a lot of stuff over the holidays and, Kwanzaa, the kids being out of school, that kind of stuff. So, we've definitely been kind of tied up a little bit. We've been trying to still balance that whole, work life, home life, and
film life.
Yeah, everything is just kind of going crazy right now. But we definitely are about to jump back on it. We're getting back on track, and we definitely felt like a lot of stuff has been going on right now with current events. So a few different topics, we were like, listen, let's just go ahead, jump right back into it with some hot stuff. And then, introduce ourselves to some of the new people that might not really know us.
Hi, guys.
And then
welcome to our channel.
What an introduction. But then also kind of, keep that hot content going for the people that already do follow us. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest things that we see going on right now is this whole R. Kelly situation.
6 days into the new year, and it's going down.
So that's one of the biggest things that's going on in the, social atmosphere. Of course, larger things are going on. We got the whole government shutdown and everything like that. Some people are saying that this whole R. Kelly thing is just a distraction for the government shutdown.
For you conspiracy theorists out there.
Yeah, to me, nah. I just feel like R. Kelly a creep, and it just is what it is. Like, I don't really see that as the timing being off or whatever the case may be.
So let's just get into the R. Kelly thing.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. To me, personally, I feel as though he did it. You know how they got that one joint to be like, whatever they say he did it? That's how I feel about R. Kelly. I don't put nothing past him. Like, honestly, way back in the day, what is that, 10, 15, 20 years ago, however long ago was that one tape that came out, he talking about, it was a look-alike, it was this, and that. That was Kelly. That was him. He was in there with
you talking about
with the little girl. Yeah, that was him, bro.
And that's when everybody was like, she looks way older than what she is. And so people, no, hold on. Let's be honest for a second. I'm talking
about this particular situation. I ain't talking about in general. Yeah. I'm not speaking in generalities right now. I'm talking about specific to this situation, whether he knew it was, underage or not. Okay, things happen.
He got it tight.
Exactly. Because it wasn't like this was just some one-off situation, like with all these other women telling all of these stories about, being in these closets and this, and that. Him telling us himself, making these songs about being in the closet and trapped and this and
trapped in the closet.
He was narrating his life, and y'all out here grinding and shucking and jiving.
Whoa.
What?
Hold on. Sometimes you have to separate, because if we don't know at that point, we was grinding. I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump of grind. We was doing the whole thing, but that wasn't something we knew. And especially at that age, now, we should try to shy away from those things. We shouldn't be still stepping in the name of love and things like that. However, you grew up differently than me. That was household music, bro.
And the problem is, though, household, blah, blah, blah. Aaliyah was 15, bro. And he making songs talking about age ain't nothing but a number. I don't see nothing wrong.
But I get it.
He wrote it.
Well, yeah.
What the hell you mean?
You're right.
So he been grooming, coaching, doing all of these things like classic abuses, and people just been like, because his music, I could two-step to it, and I made my kids to it, like he get a pass. No, that's dead. Like, he don't get no support from me, bro.
Because times are changing now, and times are different then, with how the age difference? Because I do feel like a lot of men back in the day married younger women. It was like, that was just how things were. I'm not saying it's right. But I'm just wondering, do you think that has something to do with why we're so proactive? Like, this generation is saying, no, absolutely not. We don't like it. We don't condone it. And we won't support it.
That's the thing, though. That's not even really the case. That's not what I've been seeing all across social media. Maybe I just follow some shitty people. I don't know.
I think maybe it's the people you follow. Because the people I follow are all gung-ho about
I've been seeing I've been seeing back and forth. And tons of people, though, still. Like, honestly, to me, at this point, it shouldn't even be a back and forth. It should be, he is canceled. Like, there is
Like Kanye. We canceled Kanye, but we can't cancel R. Kelly, and R. Kelly's been around a lot longer. I don't know. We canceled
Same
Kanye.
thing with, I seen somebing, somebody talking about the whole Cassette Michelle situation, and you know how people talking about, oh, her performing for Trump, this, and that. She's dead in these streets.
And she turned everything around. Wrote a book. She was suicidal over that whole situation. She came back from that. She's now working towards...
People stopped supporting her because of the whole Trump situation. Okay, whatever. You feel like political reasons, blah, blah, blah. I'm okay. Everybody's going to have their own opinions on that. To me, there shouldn't be any back and forth opinions when it comes to children, underage, anything like that. Yo, you done out here. Like, I'm not with none of that. Mm-hmm. That's how I should feel. There's no.
So what about the rest of them? You know, we got the whole Jay-Z thing, the Damon Dash thing.
In all honesty, anytime that, because of course, people are going to have rumors, people are going to have this, and that. But I feel as though people like R. Kelly, the situations are different because of the fact of there's like proof, there's evidence, there's literally, he was telling on himself in these songs. Just like they be saying, you know what I'm saying?
Hold on. So because there's no physical proof, which to me, the proof is right in front of our eyes. I mean, look at...
The proof of what?
The Damon Dash and Aaliyah, and then you got Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're like 14, 15 years apart. And I mean, was she mature enough for what he was even bringing to the table?
Proof of the fact of, did they actually start their relationships when these people were underage? There is no proof, you know, and trust me, I've been looking because I'd be like, yo, I love me some Jigga, but yo, if he was with Beyonce when she was 16 or whatever the case may be, under 18, yo, I'm done with you too, bro. I don't have no room in my heart for none of that. Okay, Same thing with Damon Dash. Once again, there is no actual proof. Now, when it comes to this R. Kelly situation, bruh, it's been proven that he married this girl when she was 15. They forged paperwork or whatever the case may be, so on and so forth. Like, these are things that are proven. He was on tape, butt naked with some young girls.
Here's my question. Like, so we got it. You are, R. Kelly is canceled. The Reids have canceled R. Kelly. We understand that. You know, we're going to go ahead and erase the music off of our Spotify list, our list on our laptops, all types of things. So R. Kelly is canceled. But what about this? What about when, you know, because I think sometimes there's that transition period, right? So when I was in the 9th grade, a guy asked me out to prom in 12th grade. My dad said, no, I couldn't go. However, there were a lot of girls who dated men or boys when they were in 9th grade, they dated 12th graders. And then in 10th grade, they were dating maybe sophomores in college. So when does that transition period happen where you're saying this is no longer allowed? Because if I'm 17 and you're 18, you're telling me, or if I'm 16 and you're 18, we're only 2 years apart, you're telling me I'm not allowed to date you because I'm 16 and you're 18?
Is it legal? That's what it comes down to. What do you mean it's not fair?
I've been on my own since
Tell that to men that are being locked up for dating underage women. It's not no.
But that's what I'm telling you.
It's fair or it's unfair.
But that's what I'm saying.
Is it legal? Yes or no?
There's certain stipulations that I think are there should be some sort of transition period. Just like the whole marijuana thing. I think that just because it's illegal doesn't mean it's wrong.
The transition period is most states, what is it? I don't even know.
16.
16
if you're under
or 18 years old or whatever the case is.
So if I'm
that's the transition period.
Living on my own,
like
working
at
on
the
my
end
own,
of the day,
doing my own.
It does not matter. It doesn't matter.
Because
you could be doing all of this. You can disagree all you want, but I'm going to tell you what our daughter is not going to be doing. So that's just how the case may be. And y'all can try to circumvent that all you want. You can do whatever you want. I feel how I feel about it. At the end of the day, even if, let's say, sometimes legally it might be right to where they say, okay, we in a state where they're 16 years old. She could date whoever she wants because technically it's not statutory rape or whatever. Guess what? It's still not going to be no college-age dudes coming around here talking about, oh, your daughter is fine. I want to do this. I want to do that. I might shoot you in your face. Get away from my door.
So
even if it's legally correct, still morally, I'm not okay with it.
Morally,
it doesn't matter to me.
So when she's 22 and she's dating a 24-year-old, that's okay.
What do you mean? Like, she's a grown, I'm not going to say grown woman at that point, but 22 and 24, y'all pretty much still in the same realm. Like, 22.
So 16 and 18 aren't.
That's not, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Legally and morally. At the end of the day, you 18 years old, you graduated high school or whatever, you might be in college, some dudes in the military at this point, etc. Right? Mm-hmm. It's a girl in 10th grade, right? Mm-hmm. What are you doing with this girl that's in 10th grade?
But you know, at that age, they think
what are you doing with this girl? What are you doing with this girl that's in 10th grade? You're supposed to be out trying to see your way through, trying to start, you know what I'm saying, getting your life started, this and that. This girl's in the 10th grade. She might not even have no daggone license yet. What are you doing with this girl in the 10th grade? She got a curfew. What are you doing with this girl in 10th grade? At 18, I was at war. What am I going to want to do with some girl that's in 10th grade, bro?
I don't know.
Exactly. So when you look at it like that, there is no, to me, it's wrong. Like, yo, stay within your certain realm. And I understand that a lot of women that's out there, they be like, oh, when I was in high school or even freshman college or whatever, it's dudes that's snooping around. It's dudes that's 20 years old, 25 or whatever the case may be. And, oh, because you mentally mature, this, and that. At the end of the day, your brain still ain't developing yet. Yes. Scientifically, at the end, just because you out handling bills doing this, you still was making all the right decisions as an adult.
I will still make all the right decisions now.
And then, exactly. So you still developing and you still trying to get so at the end of the day, think about how much worse it was when you was at 18 years old, 17 years old, and you talking about, I want to date 20-something-year-old dudes. These dudes that's supposed to be out having, you know what I'm saying, bills to pay, on some real grown man stuff. What are they doing with girls that's still in high school? So are we mad
about what he did? So I know what your opinion is. I'm not taking away from that, but I want to know, like, because I do see that some people are trying to separate certain things. Oh, we're mad that he was an abuser. He took advantage of these women. He did some unspeakable things to these women, you know, peeing on women, abusing them, keeping them in closets, keeping them shut down away from their family, things like that. Like, what part are we mad about, right? So we're trying to understand, too, as a culture, why we're not breaking these things down before it gets to R. Kelly situation, right? Because we got people in family who, you know, we see little girls sitting on men's laps and things like that. You know, when do we start to curve this, right? Because we understand that we have a problem with that, right? How do we curve it? Where do we go with the conversation? Because we can be upset about it all day long.
There is no curving it. There is teaching, and because a lot of times these men, and I'm going to call them men, especially when they get over, you know, 18 years old or so, whatever the case may be, they're scavengers. The thing is, a lot of the women that are their age are turning them down. And then so they're going around and they're looking for younger, gullible women who, like I said, you 15, 16 years old, you can't really push no whip yet. You can't do this, you can't do that. I know dudes personally that I've known throughout the years that be like, yo, I'm going to buy shorty a little bag, a little $50 Michael Kors bag or a pair of Air Force Ones, take her to Red Lobster, and it's going to be on and popping. That's gross to me. Because in my mind, I'm like, yo, dude, it's mad shorties out here. It's mad our age, above our age, all of that. Why are you...
So it's desperation on both parts.
Then? I don't think it's both parts. A lot of the times, it's mainly the men. And I really see a fault in that. And it goes the same way when you speak about like rape culture and things like that, to where we always kind of trying to tell women, don't do this, don't do that, don't do... Yo, at the end of the day, like, they not raping themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I've never been in a position to where I've been out and about, and I'm talking about I done been smashed, I done been everything. And I'm seeing a woman out and about, and because she dressed a certain way, I might formulate my own opinion to where I'm like, oh, nah, she might be one of them chicks that kind of with it, you know what I'm saying, or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I've never let that translate into, oh, let me just go put my hands on her. Or because she dressed a certain way, or she looked a certain way that I could just do whatever with her. Nah, to me, that's that dude, that's that man. And sometimes women, because I'm not going to say that women can't be predators as well. So let's, you know what I'm saying, rescind that and go back to that effect. But a lot of the times it's these men that's just, they have low self-esteem, because in high school they was getting turned down by women. When they first get to college, they getting turned down by women. And they having all of these, you know what I'm saying, hidden agendas within themselves.
Mommy issues or daddy issues.
Whatever the case may be, there's an issue there to where you can be a grown man, and then at any rate, and I don't care if you 40 years old and somebody 20-something years old, to where you're thinking that that's okay to be with somebody that's so far outside of your realm. I don't care how grown you act or how much money you making or anything like that. The mindsets are not the same. To me, y'all shouldn't be working on the same goals at 22 years old and 40 years old.
I agree. I have been out and I've gone out like, my sister is like 9 years older than me. You know what I mean? So, and I'm 31. I'll be 32 this year. So, I've hung out with her a couple of times. We'll go out and then I'll have, and she's right in the middle of the age of me and my father. They're right in the middle. And so she knows some of my dad's friends and some of my friends at the same time, right? But I've had times where I'm out and his friends or people that he knows, not necessarily friends, because trust me, he would not be friends with anybody like that, have hit on me. And it's awkward feeling. I'm like, whoa, you're old enough to be my dad. I actually went to school with your kid. Like, how do you formulate in your mind, after I watch them drink and things like that? So not that I'm making excuses, but I'm thinking, do you become your real self after that? It's just that much easier because I've seen them at regular games where there's no drinking going on and those things were never ever approached. So what do we, it's a whole, the culture in general, there's double standards. There's the teachers versus, the women teachers versus the male teachers who have sex with their students. When a man does it, it's like, oh my God. When a woman does it, it's like, I wish I had a teacher like that. Whoa. She's disgusting.
I mean, there is
the whole culture is just...
There is a great difference between how certain things are handled between, men and women. That double standard is always going to be prevalent. Because at the end of the day, like you said, a lot of times if, a young dude, you're in high school or middle school at this point, sometimes this is even happening. And a teacher fondles them or have sex with them or carry on some kind of relationship. A lot of the times dudes are like, oh, I wish that was my son. My son is getting it, this, and that. And then if you flip it on the other ear, and there's a dude that's doing this to a 13-year-old girl or a 15-year-old girl or whatever the case may be, it's, cut his balls off, hanging from the rafters, different things. Abuse is abuse at the end of the day. Like, in all honesty, that's happened to me as a child. And then I didn't really know, what was what or whatever. I'm going to this little summer camp. One of the counselors, I'm like 9, 10 years old at the time. She's 15, 16 years old. All she's talking about is, how cute I am, my dimples, I'm this and I'm that. This chick was kissing me on my mouth. You know what I'm saying? Feeling me up, different things like that. Mom. And I didn't, because to me, it wasn't, because I grew up, I'm seeing my dad, he's a player. My uncles, they getting girls, they doing this, they doing that. So in my mind, I'm just like,
this is what I'm supposed to do.
Like, this is okay.
That's the culture we have to curb. We got to teach our sons, first and foremost, that it's not okay. We have to teach our sons that there are limits, that having a whole bunch of women at one time is not okay. And we have to be the example of that. And I think that would help curb in the future, to our future R&B legends out there, that this should not happen to, the fathers out there who are out there doing, saying, hey, son, go get her, go do this, go that. No, let's respect our women, especially inside our culture. Not that any other culture is better, but geez, we have got to learn how to respect ourselves, because then we have times where you had your moment of thinking that this is okay, that this was the right lane for you. Having tons of women and being taken advantage of by women was okay, because that has happened. But you think, oh, well, they like me just like a woman would. He likes me. He wants me. It's an attention thing. It's a desperation thing. It's something we're lacking that we found in something else. We've all done it in some way, shape, or form. I've dated older men. I've dated older men thinking no man my age is on my level, because I was... I moved out early. I had a great job. I've been out on my own for a long time. So I was like, I'm not dating nobody who don't have what I have. And men my age at that point did not have their own houses, their own cars, their own nothing. I did. But it didn't make it right, and it didn't translate into anything. Those relationships were fruitless, simply because they were looking for one thing and I was looking for another.
And that's exactly what I mean when I say y'all realms should be totally different with regard to what y'all working towards and what kind of goals you're trying to attain. So that's why I can never really understand the whole concept of it being okay for women to be like, oh, you know, my man is so and so years older than me, this and that. I think that's whack. Like, honestly, I just think it's whack. That's just never really been my thing. I never understood.
Here's the deal. Love is really, really funny thing, right? What I will say, I'm going to say something that's contrary to popular belief. Love is a really, really funny thing. Sometimes you mesh with people you never imagined that you would mesh with. You gel with somebody you never imagined you would. So I'm not going to say that it's not plausible. It can't happen to be 45 and be married to a 65-year-old man, whatever. You know, to be 20 years apart, especially, you know, way back in the day. You know, our grandparents did it or
that
whatever.
That was right back in the day. Plain and simple.
What I'm saying to you.
They was taking little girls. It was people that was like, yo, give me 3 cows and a plot of land, and you can have my daughter, and she like 8 years old. That's rape, right? And it's disgusting.
I'm not going there. I'm just talking about doing it after you're older. I'm not saying, you know, they started when they were 6 and 15. No. I'm just saying, like, you're 25, you meet a 40-year-old. At this point, that might work.
It's weird.
It might be weird to some, but it might work. So love is love. I'm not going to tell anybody you can't love who you want to love. What I am going to say is, you know, at a certain point, there should be some sort of transition. Like, you understand that this person is too young for you, or they're not developed to the age where you should be doing anything sexually with that person or thinking anything sexual. I couldn't even imagine. So at this point in life, you know, like we said, we know R. Kelly is canceled, and we will not be supporting him anymore. No, we're not separating the man from the art.
All of this, not.
No, we're not separating the man from the action. No, we're not. No. Here's the deal. If we keep supporting BS, we're going to keep getting BS, period. And us as Black people are the biggest BS supporters, period. It is what it is. We say that Yeezy is canceled, except for when he has a new pair of shoes, we want to go buy them. Huh? So you didn't, I mean, you might as well have bought the $10 CD instead of the daggone $700 stickers. Whatever. We are the biggest proprietors and supporters of those things. And the buck has to stop somewhere. So as far as we're concerned, we do agree to disagree in some areas in this, but holistically, no. You should not be in a position, and if you are, tell somebody, talk to someone else about it. Talk to, you know, females need to talk to women. You need to have a mentor.
And this is the thing, you saying that's all good and well. We understand that's how it's supposed to be, but when you're looking online, let's say I just got felt up yesterday, day before yesterday, right?
Did you get felt up yesterday?
Let's say that happened to me 2 days ago, but I go online and everybody talking about, oh,
I support R. Kelly.
I do this for R. Kelly and it don't matter, and why they wait so long to tell, and why they do. That's why people not coming forward and saying nothing.
But that's why you have us. So
as long as we continue to perpetuate this whole stigma about, oh, let's separate the music from the man, and this is, at the end of the day, if you still streaming his hits and, you know what I'm saying, you doing this, you still finding a way to support this man. And guess what? You're not just supporting him, but the money that he's making off of that, he's continuing to support the people around him that enable him to cover up all of these people that he's been abusing and underage girls, and they're keeping these secrets for him because guess what? That money is still coming in.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you got to tear down that whole situation. Him and everybody else around him. I don't care if I find out next week that Jesus knew about it and was like, you know what, bro? You sung a good song. Do your thing. Jesus got to get canceled too. I'm not with it. I'm not with it, bro. That's it.
Here's the deal. You know, we have come to the conclusion that we're done with that, but we want to be encouraging at the same time, because while we tear down this situation and in the walls and the silence and we want to be somewhat open to the idea that people need to have space and room to talk about these things and not feel like they're being attacked on both sides. Maybe there's somebody that feels like they need to listen to what I'm saying. Hey, there's something wrong with me. How can I get help? Because I am attracted to.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm talking about
let's create... and we can lock you up and get you some help.
Okay.
Yeah, please say what you need to say. I do agree with. But ain't no both sides where,
No.
It might be because you got a mental illness. We're going to let this slide. Get your ass
create space for both to heal, to happen. We have to create space for healing. That's my opinion. And that's just...
I don't know. Some of these people, I be feeling like because I done been in literally situations with some of these people where there ain't no... It's something wrong. Exactly. And I don't know whether it comes from certain people. It's going to be either, like you said, innately, just like some people. They just might want to be a serial killer, something mental, chemical imbalance, whatever the case may be. But some people, it's a result of things that might have happened to them. And then, so I don't know if they can be turned around because they realize it. But at the end of the day, you know what you're doing is wrong. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like...
Let me ask you a question. When you were around them, did you say to them at that time? I don't know if that's...
Oh, no. I wasn't in the mind space to where I was on no rehabilitation like, hey, bro, go get some help. I'm punching you in your mouth if I know what you in here for. I'm punching you in your mouth and don't talk to me.
Oh, you're talking about...
None of that. Exactly.
Okay.
I'm not playing with you. I'm not playing with none of that. None of that at all. I don't want to care about, I'm just a little sick in the head.
But what about people you knew like that? You never addressed it with them?
The thing is, the things that I've addressed with people that I knew like that, it wasn't on no like, underage, like, you know what I'm saying, little kids or no pedophilia, anything like that. It was strictly on the sense of like, shorty like 17, 8, it must say 16, 17, she in the club, this, and that. Because mind you, a lot of times in Europe, there is no real age limit when you can be in the club, different things like that. But it's like, all right, we grown men, you know what I'm saying? Like, mind you, I was over there, I was 17, 18, 19, whatever the case may be. I was one of the youngest dudes. Some of these dudes was like mid-20s, late 20s, early 30s, and they finding out still that some of these chicks is like 16, 17 years old. And mind you, it's legal, but they still like, I just still let shorty do wah. And I'm like, you a creep.
We need to get better with
like
sexual
my age,
education.
You a creep.
This is the problem. In Black community, we do not talk about sex. We need to talk about it. We do not talk about mental illness. We need to talk about it. And we do not talk about taboo. You know, the things that are taboo, you know, having a gay son or a gay daughter or whatever.
Too much stuff gets swept under the rug. Right?
Everything gets swept under the rug, and now it's all a whole bunch of secrets. And now Pop is kissing on Lil John, and we don't know what's going on because Pop has been the greatest Pop to everybody in the world. But he probably been kissing on JoJo and Jack and Gigi, and nobody's been saying nothing for years. So here's the deal. We don't have secrets in our house. My daughter will tell you there are no secrets. My superpower is I know that you have a secret. I tell her all the time, Mommy has superpowers. Don't play with me. We do not have secrets. Learn to talk and not be accusatory. You have to not be judgmental. Because as soon as you start coming down with the hammer, that's when everybody wants to clam up. Now, there is a time for, hey, you're not supposed to do that. And you talk through that. That's where you have to do. But communication is key, guys. We say that in our relationship, and we mean that across the board. So let's communicate. Let's talk about it. If you want to talk to us about it, even if it's just a call and say, hey, I just want to vent. I don't want you to say anything. You can do that. DM us, call us, text us, comment, share, do whatever you need to do. But we do know we will not support that, and we will support you.
Most definitely. So, I don't know. I guess that was a perfect summation of this whole thing. So we're not going to keep dragging it out. I want to leave on that positive note because I ain't going to lie, I was getting a little hot.
He was hot.
I was getting a little hot because I'm really just not, I don't know. Especially, I think it's even elevated even more with the fact that I do have a daughter and everything like that. Because even before, I was like, nah, you done out here in these streets. But now, yeah, it's elevated even more. I have zero tolerance for it at all. So yeah, that's us, man. Like I said, we're back. We're getting back into these videos a lot more. We done freed up some more time and things like that. So yeah, definitely continue to like, subscribe,
share
everything that we got
things
going
coming
on. We did have people that were hitting us up about a couple different topics and a couple different
some of my recipes you guys wanted to know about.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of different stuff. So I don't know. We'll probably start trying to lean more into the family aspect of everything that we got going on some weeks, and then some weeks we'll still be doing like adult
or maybe
topics.
you'll see just him.
We don't know yet, but we're definitely gonna make sure that we keep the content coming for y'all because a lot of it has been getting requested. So we'll go ahead, keep digging through the DMs, keep digging through the emails and stuff like that.
We love y'all.
Yeah, we definitely love the support. 2019 we feel like is gonna be a great year for us. I just want y'all to continue to grow with us and keep learning and working through this. All right.
That's it for Pillow Talk right now.
All right, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. And talk to y'all soon.
See ya.